And now, it's time for Socially Awkward Media with Levack Goz. Awkward on 104.5 The Team.
Socially Awkward Media every Thursday at 4 o'clock. We highlight you because, quite honestly, the majority of you and the things you tweet, write, email, Facebook, are either very funny, entertaining, or just so extremely rude that we have to share them to be believed. So let's go ahead and do Socially Awkward Media. Goz, what do you got?
Yeah, those spots to do it is at 104.5 The Team on Twitter, at the Jeff Levack is Levack's Twitter account, at I Am Matt Woods is Woods' Twitter account, and at Tom Goz, TOMGOZZ, or again, Facebook.com/1045 The Team, where we start off things with our good old producer, Matt Woods. If you haven't been following, Woods has decided to become the...
He's the Twitter terrier.
Oh, yeah, the Twitter terrier.
He's our yard dog that if you tweet inappropriately and he doesn't like it...
Don't at me, bro. Don't at me.
But it's more of a...
Well, on Facebook, Woods decided to take his battle there with someone named Ronald Moore. And if you remember, Woods...
Not the basketball player.
No.
Sure.
But you and Ronald battled over who should be interviewed for the GM spot for the New York Giants in similar fashion that you did with Carl Banks, involving Louis Riddick. Ronald Moore wrote to you today, Woods. Ha! Take that, Woods. Giants interview Louis Riddick.
He's also the same guy that will comment on Facebook and say, I said that too.
I don't think we're getting into Ronald Moore's post. We're getting into more defending yourself about them interviewing Louis Riddick. Do you think it's a good move by the Giants interviewing the ESPN analyst?
Great move to interview. Shouldn't get the hire. No experience. Hasn't been in the league in 4 years. I honestly think this is a thing by, like, I don't know. Just because he's on ESPN, people think he's the greatest thing ever. So I want a guy who's actually done the job. Sorry, but that's what I actually want as my GM for my favorite football team. A guy that knows the job.
I think that's a fair answer, right?
I just love how angry he gets. Like, Ronald Moore's probably just a regular, average dude who just wants to have a sports conversation.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the picture?
No.
I mean, come on.
See, you let the terrier out and he's biting.
Like, he's like, we have to call ahead to the vet. Look, we're bringing Woods in. Please make sure the waiting room is empty or let us in through a back door so he doesn't attack all the other animals.
I said Dave Gettleman!
All right, Woods.
Dave Gettleman's a good man.
No one else has attacked you.
You know, I need somebody to Photoshop Woods into a Napoleon costume.
Into a Napoleon? No.
I'll give you one more Giants question, and Levack, you can answer this too. Tim also wrote on our Facebook page, no Davis Webb starting this weekend. Not that, but I'm cool with the future draft pick of Baker Mayfield. Then the Giants would be good.
Really? Then they'll be good? Because every great starting quarterback is that because they had plenty of spare time. They couldn't fit on roller coasters or bumper cars. He's too short to ride on.
Oh, don't do that to Baker.
Can't have any fun at Great Escape. Dude, the teams that are successful against Drew Brees, who is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, clog the front so you can't open passing lanes. Brees is taller than Mayfield. You got to be a special offensive line to make Baker Mayfield successful in the pro level. Ask your buddy Johnny Manziel.
And I'm not ready to say that Baker Mayfield should be the pick where the Giants are likely to be picking ahead of a Sam Darnold who's much taller, a Josh Rosen who everyone thinks is very good. Even if you want to go the height thing again, Lamar Jackson. I feel like Giants fans would be better with those three quarterbacks over Mayfield, although I think, and Adam Schefter said this and others, Mayfield's stock is likely, because of what he's done at Oklahoma, pushed him into the first round. Woods, as a Giants fan, what do you make of Tim's comment?
Ronald Moore just tweeted he wants Louis Riddick and Baker Mayfield for the Giants.
Okay.
What do you think?
No. You got to get Josh Rosen. Do everything you can to get that guy.
He's the chosen.
Whoa.
He's the chosen one.
What happened to Josh Allen? I thought you were all in for Allen. What happened to your guy?
I am, but right now, whose stock is higher? I think Rosen has risen over Allen. And I've been on the Allen train for close to 3 years now.
All right. Well, we'll move on. Danny wrote this in. He wrote this long on Twitter, right?
No, not to say Allen train on the radio.
I think so. Danny wrote this in on Facebook. He wrote, I don't get it. Why don't high schools take class into consideration? I believe Jimmer Fredette played against tougher competition, although Glens Falls is the same high school. Not taking anything away from Joe Girard III. The kid is a great player, but in professional sports, the records are from playing on the same level as everybody else. high school records seem uneven.
I love the not taking anything away from him, but
let me
he
take
plays
something
against
away.
garbage, so his records don't matter. Look, it's subjective at best, especially high school, because there's so many more athletes. There's so many, like a school's going to have an up year, a down year, a conference of an up year, a down year. The amount of kids in that conference is going to change the quality and the ranking of that conference. Hoops 10 feet tall, kid makes shots like that nobody else makes, and as Chris Honorado pointed out on the show, he's being recruited by Wake Forest and maybe Michigan. That's pretty good.
See, I played athletics at the same level as Gerard and Jimmer in the sense it's
that sucks.
A class B. No. But like, I'm in the middle, right? So I'm in the middle, and I'm seeing the attitudes of big school fans and alums, and same as it comes to the small school. And I feel like on this show, a lot of times the smaller schools believe they don't get enough recognition. And I can get that because the fan base, just numbers-wise, is smaller. But somehow, some way, and I think this is actually more irrational than the small school fan comment, that somehow the AA schools, and I'm just saying schools for an example, Shaker, Guilderland, Shen, do they really believe the fan base that Joe Girard wouldn't be this good against them? Do they truly, honestly believe that?
Question for you guys. Is polenta a performance enhancer?
I have this great take on Joe Girard, and you come out with that question. No, polenta's not a performance enhancer. Do you guys understand my point, though? Like, why does big school fan think Girard and other small school guys can't compete at that? That makes no sense.
I just don't understand how, when we've got a kid who's this good, he's a two-sport star, he's going to play at the next level for college hoops, why we can't just enjoy it. Well, just enjoy it. It doesn't. Do you think Jimmer Fredette is sitting there going, I hope he doesn't break my record. I hope he doesn't do this. I hope, you know what I mean? Like, do you think anybody is doing, like,
maybe a little bit.
I doubt it.
Maybe a little.
Jimmer's real worried about a couple thousand points in Glens Falls while he's making $2 million to play hoops over in China right now.
The kid's a junior too,
right?
So Jimmer's record might be gone by 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I get all that, but I think everybody deep down there's a little part of like it's kind of cool to have a record. Like you kind of like people would like to have records.
He had it for so long. I mean, you don't need it anymore. You went to the NBA. You're a professional. Like you're like probably second to like Yao Ming in China right now when it comes to basketball players. He's good. Stop trying to take things away from JG3. The kid is killing it, and it's fun to watch.
Riggs wrote this in on Twitter. He wrote, hey, if this Alex Guerrero guy, the trainer for Tom Brady, is so good, why isn't he working with more than Tommy Boy? Why don't we hear about him working with other athletes? Why does he only work with Brady?
No, I don't have any comment on that. Other than to say Alex has been, well documented, a huge part of what I do, and so fortunate to have him, not only as a friend, but everything that we've been able to do together. And Alex has been, huge reason why, I'm still playing.
He's a huge reason why the best player in the game is still playing. He's part of the TB12 company. I think he's a fake. I think at best he's a fake, but Brady believes in him, and Brady looks better and younger than he did at 23. So, that's a pretty good reason to get a little bit of confidence from other players.
I made it simpler. I wrote back to Riggs and I think he pays well. Let's be honest. Well, Brady and Giselle, all you need to do is train one athlete. You're good. Why train 100? You can train one and make the same.
Well, no, and if we're being honest, too, that's part of the problem is he was training a bunch of the Patriots now. Like Gronkowski and stuff like that this year. So the other trainers that are being paid to be trainers by the Patriots are sitting there going, yeah, no. The guy doesn't believe in squats. like you kind of need to do squats. It's part of everybody does squats.
I got two NFL ones here for you. First, this one's from Michael. Michael wrote it. Oh, this one's near and dear to my heart. Where would the Minnesota Vikings be without Case Keenum? I think it's at least worth asking the question. Sam Bradford
I think
gets
they're
hurt.
a wild card. I think they'd be a wild card because I think that defense is so good. The running game is solid. They'd be a wild card, but right now I think they're one of the best teams in football.
Well, who the heck do they have? Who's their fourth stringer?
Right.
I have no idea.
Direct snap to Latavius Murray.
Yeah, I apparently,
Christian Ponder comes back and plays.
I would say
Teddy Bridgewater.
Colin Kaepernick.
Well, he just came back.
Right.
So he had the whole season would have been somebody else. So
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I could see the Vikings missing the playoffs without Case Keenum.
I could definitely easily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wild card at best, but there's still that defense is that's good.
Well,
and that offensive line when it's healthy.
Interesting you bring up defenses. We get a tweet here from Corey. Corey writes in, I think the Rams and the Jaguars.
I'm sorry, I wanted to answer you earlier. Kyle Slaughter, the rookie from North Colorado, would be their quarterback.
Well, okay then. Corey wrote
It's like
this in.
Justin Bieber.
The Rams and the Jaguars are very similar. Both had questions at quarterback in the offseason. Both run a good run game. Both have a great defense. So if they are 3 seeds in their respective conferences, would you try to avoid being the 6th seed? Would you want to play them?
Who's it? Okay, so
This is Corey Greenwich, by
Hold
the
on a
way.
second.
Yeah. I see what you're doing.
You want to, no duh, you want to avoid the last seed in the playoffs. You want to be better than that, right?
I love Corey. Corey, I love you, man. That's all I can say.
Guys, I think we ought to play to be the worst team.
Well,
of the mix.
you really you're just happy to get in. That's just you're just happy to be invited at that point. I mean, I get it. What he's trying to say is, are you secretly hoping somehow they jump to 2? Would you rather face somebody else or whatever? You know, obviously you want to be the 4th or the 5th seed before the 6th, and you don't want to be the 7th. So, I mean, but
I agree. Levack, I agree with you, and I would have said, you know what? He's only got 140 characters. That's probably what he meant. He's got 280 now. That's his fault.
Agreed.
Mike wrote this in. Mike has an interesting take on this. Mike wrote in, I don't know if you guys have seen the story now, that college athletics are offering more athletic scholarships to virtual athletes.
oh my God.
The video gamers, the esports. Mike wrote in and he wrote, I have a goal in life. I want to become the Jerry Tarkanian of esports. He wants to be the big booster, the big head coach who pays for the elite esport athletes. Is this a business that people haven't tapped into yet in sports?
It's the beginning of the end. It's just,
What does that mean?
just stock up on canned goods and shotgun shells because it's now that PlayStation and Xbox are considered a sport.
Is this how the
we
nerds
are
get back
hoes.
at the
I'm
athletes?
a nerd and I'm mad. I love video games and I think this is stupid. I play video games probably 2-3 hours a week right now. When I was younger, I played a lot more, obviously, but I don't have a ton of time. But when I want to unwind and stuff, break out a little Borderlands 2 and shoot things in the face. It's fun.
There was one part of me when I was much younger that would be okay. Like, I obviously want to play against your friends in video games. But if your friend had, like, a great team or, like, a stupid dynasty, like with Florida Atlantic, or you, like, want to see him play a game, like, dude, how are you winning with this team? I got to see this. But I've not gone to the full extent of, like, Twitch and other younger fans who, like, they will pack Madison Square Garden to watch other people play video games.
I don't get that at all.
And I hate to say it, if there is some way you could make money, I wouldn't give them athletic scholarships by any stretch, but you could make money somehow in certain cities on this, which I cannot believe.
Well, tournaments and stuff I'm fine with. But if my kid played softball her whole life, but your kid gets in because he's good at Mario Brothers, I'm going to be ticked off.
Last one here. This is a Christmas request from one of our faithful listeners, Ken in Latham. Ken wrote in our final social awkward media message of 2017. Guys, I have a Christmas tree wish and request for you boys. I want to hear Levack channel his inner Ed Orgeron.
I tell you what, Kyle, right there, Tatum. I tell you what, I want to do. I want to go ahead. I'm going to get some crawfish. I'm going to get a little bit of something special for you. A little about Cajun cheese. Hey, on eating then for you right there. I'm going to touch down right now. No.